If you want to set up your online radio station studio, this is how you do it in a few easy steps. I will show you how the complete wiring of the equipment is set up. You will see how to set up your sound, the radio studio mixer, how to hook up your computer and screens, and your studio microphones. You will end up with a fun and professional broadcast sounding studio set up for your own internet radio station, as well as give you a studio that will prepare you for how broadcast radio stations work. So if you end up working on an FM radio station or a bigger internet radio station, you will feel much more comfortable. At the heart of any radio studio is the radio mixer, or sometimes called a mixer board. This mixer is an analog mixer, but the principles are the same for a digital mixer. They just have different internal audio and sometimes are wired through USB cables instead of audio cables. The radio mixer is very different to a music mixer. You can see that a music mixer has a lot more dials and knobs, while the radio mixer is stripped down to only a few buttons. The reason is that radio stations don't want DJs messing with the radio station's sound. You can still use a music mixer for your radio station, and I have run many small radio stations with a cheap music mixer just like this one. They are way cheaper than a radio mixer, but they don't have the trigger buttons. Now let's connect it all together. In the past, there would be many channels used because of all the equipment connected, including 3 CD players, other digital players like DAT tapes, mini disc players, and even record and tape players. These have pretty much all gone, leaving just PCs to provide everything. You will need multiple sound cards if you intend running many channels from your PC or Mac. You can have internal sound cards, or you can use a professional multi-channel audio interface, or if you are on a tight budget, you can just use a bunch of these cheap USB sound cards. They can all be plugged into a USB multi-plug like this. So connect your channels like this. Microphones on the left channels, your audio inputs left to right from the first channel after the last microphone channel. Then if you have only one audio channel, like with Radio DJ, then make the first channel your main player audio, and then make the pre-listen channel the second channel. Now, if you have lots of cash, you can run a voice processor on each microphone channel first, then connect that to each microphone input. If you don't have the big bucks and only have one voice processor, then the microphones first need to be connected to their mic inputs of the mixer, then use what is called a group channel or an aux send channel. All the microphone signals in the mixer will go to that group or aux send. This group signal comes out the mixer and goes into the microphone processor, and then the signal comes back to the mixer in another channel, so you'll have to keep one of the channels open to come back into the mixer. Some mixers have a group channel fader, so you don't have to use one on the main mixer. These channels can have an in and out, so it makes it easier to set up. The audio inputs are often a specific type, but they can vary. The microphone should have a connector like this called an XLR that goes into the female version of the XLR. The audio can have connectors like these called RCA connectors or jack plug connectors. The reason they are different to the microphone connectors is that they have different signal levels. Microphones have a very low level, so need a lot of gain to reach the right level. Audio signals are often the exact same level as the mixer, so don't need any gain or amplification. Now, the important thing to understand is that you can't pre-listen and play audio on the same channel at the same time. So if you have only one output channel like you would have with Radio DJ, then your pre-listen has to be on its own channel. If you're running multiple players, like with Play It Live, then each channel works as a player and a pre-listen channel. That way, while one channel is playing, you can listen to the other channels off air without affecting what's going on air by keeping the fader off and using the pre-fade listen button or monitor button to listen to that channel off air. Let's look at the channels on the mixer. At the bottom is the on button, but this is not only an on button, it's also a trigger. So when you press it, the song for that channel will play. So for example, if you have 3 player channels, you can trigger each channel to play without using the mouse on the screen. This makes it much easier and less accidents happen. You line up what will be in that channel or player, then you trigger each channel with that channel's trigger button. Now, all the microphone triggers must be connected together so they all can affect the triggering of both your studio speakers and the on-air light. If any microphone is live, they should be triggering the studio speakers to switch off and the studio on-air light to switch on, like this.
Coming up, we have the big music track of the week, but right now, a brand new entry.
The triggers for the audio channels, though, need to be completely separate from each other because they will each trigger a separate channel on your computer. So even though the audio channel triggers are shown as one line here, they need to be separate wires that connect to your PC to trigger separate channels. There are quite expensive trigger interfaces you can buy to connect to your PC, or you can simply take a USB keyboard apart and connect wires to the buttons that you'll be using as the triggers. You will need to set up your triggers that relate to those keyboard buttons in your radio automation software. Now your headphone output will need to be sent to a headphone amplifier with multiple outputs to connect all the headphones in the studio. If you are the only person using one pair of headphones, you won't need this. You have to connect your modem where you will send your streaming signal to. This audio will come out the mixer as the main or master output, which you will connect to another USB sound card or your internal sound card input on your computer. If you are running an FM radio station as well as streaming, you can use the same signal as the signal you send to your transmitter or radio link. Some mixers have more than one master output, so you can separate them. If you are going full commercial, you will need even more channels for phone lines, satellite signals, and other outside signals. If you are running on your own with just 2 sound cards, you need much fewer channels. In fact, you could get away with a mixer with just 3 channels, 1 for the mic and 2 for the audio. If you are running your own online studio and you're the only presenter, then this is more than enough. If you have made it this far, I'll show you how to use multiple screens on your PC to have one screen for your main radio automation and the other for your jingles like this. You will need a video card that has 2 outputs, but you can even have a video card with 1 output which you send to your jingle page screen and then use your main PC video output to send the video signal to your radio software window. This is much easier if you have a laptop because most laptops have an output and you have your laptop screen. Many PCs also have a video port output and a VGA output. Either of these can be used together with your HD output. You will need either a video port to HDMI adapter or VGA to HDMI adapter. If you have an old VGA or XGA screen, you can just connect that directly to your VGA output. Then you need to set up your screens on your PC. Make sure you select Extend Screen and not Clone Screen or Presentation Screen. The reason is that you want to be able to move your single mouse across both screens. This way you can run your radio software and your jingles with one mouse. Then put your jingles page on the one screen and the main radio automation player on the other screen. If you have not yet set up your radio automation software, check out these videos to get free radio automation for your PC. Then also be sure to watch my videos on free internet radio streaming and watch out for my video on how to use a radio studio mixer. Be sure to like and subscribe if that's not ready yet.